What's up, dudes? My name is Nick. Welcome back for another video. We're talking about the crazy and I don't know if it was expected or unexpected, but it definitely, to me personally, wasn't necessarily shocking news that MNet, CJ and CJENM, they're one and the same, all of their survival shows are now being investigated by the police for, the results being rigged. And I'm personally not shocked by it. And, that just is what it is. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a lot of the stuff going through my mind about that right now. But first, before we get into it, though, I want to ask you guys a question. Are you shocked? Are you surprised? Could you have expected that this was going to be the case? And then the second part to that, the second question to that is, do you really even care that the results were rigged potentially? Let me know in the comments what side of the scale you fall on, from like I don't care to like I really do care. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are down below. Now, where I kind of stand on this is, on one hand, I don't really care because I wasn't invested in the results, and I do enjoy the results more or less. So, it just is what it is. The music is what I enjoy. How the music was created or the reason for the music being in existence doesn't really matter to me. And I also wasn't invested in the results of the shows either because I never watched any of them. I wasn't interested. So that doesn't really affect me. But where I do care is on sort of like a moral ground of like, it's not really, ethical to be manipulating the results of a series or of shows of shows where the results are supposed to be determined by the viewers. So having somebody else putting their hand in there and, rearranging things and making it look kosher, making it look legit, that's shady, that's not ethical. I don't really like that. So the question is, like, why exactly would somebody do that? What are the motivations? Why would CJENM do that? And the first thing is because it's a TV show, it's supposed to appeal to viewers, and they're supposed to appeal to a wide range of viewers. We're going to use a specific example of the series of Produce 101 where they had Korean trainees and Japanese trainees in the same series. If you really think about it, with the fact that Japanese nationals were included in that show, I think that season specifically, appealed a lot to Japanese people. I don't think that that's a crazy, bold statement to say. And it's also, I don't think, a crazy and bold statement to say that if Japanese members did not perform well, or they did not make it into the final group of that season, then Japanese viewers probably wouldn't have been very happy. They probably would have stopped watching at some point. So they sort of fixed the results so that a Japanese member, at the very least one, if not more, I don't really know what the lineup of the group is and all that sort of stuff, to be completely honest, but do something to nudge some Japanese contestants to like actually do well and finish up near the top of the rankings so that Japanese viewers are interested in and invested in their performance. And then when they make it to the final group and they're in that group, then Japanese people have a reason to listen to that group and to buy their albums. Right, so that's the one reason, because the contestants that are involved and who do well and look good are going to attract the viewers and keep the largest amount of viewers, right? Because that's kind of the reason for TV shows. It's all about ratings. High ratings are good, and doing things that are going to negatively impact your ratings, that's bad. The second reason, sort of related to voting, I suppose, is that the fans ultimately, at the end of the day, don't really know who the best is. They're not voting necessarily on these series because they know, or they feel or they know, they have good knowledge of who is the best and who would be the best suited to be in a K-pop group, or who's the best rapper or anything like that. They're not trained necessarily. I'm not trained, so I personally don't know either, to actually pick the person who really should be the winner of each of these shows. And so when it comes to, like, say, Produce 101, this is the one example that I know because it's the most recent series to have aired for me. Produce 101, it comes to the groups that are formed. Like, the fans, if they took the ranking of top 10 voting for the fans, the group probably wouldn't have been very good, to be completely honest, because the variety of people who are voting for contestants, they wouldn't be voting for them because, you need like someone who's a good singer, you need a good rapper, you need a good dancer, you need, some other people to fill in the gaps there who are solid all around. They wouldn't be voting with that in mind. They'd just be voting like, this person is attractive, or I really like this person, or this person's a member of my favorite K-pop group, or a K-pop group that I like. And so then you wouldn't get a group like X1, who is, in my mind, very, 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 very vocally talented from top to bottom. They have got spectacular singers, and that is like their main point for me. X1, their vocals, their singing ability, that's very, very strong. If it was left up to fan voting, the likelihood of that actually happening, I would say, was probably low. Not impossible, but pretty low. And of course, the whole devil's edit and stuff like that would have had to, could potentially have played a part in shaping the way that fans vote as well. So that's another part of the whole, fixing and rigging of the show too. So that's one thing. Fans don't know what they're talking about when they vote. They don't vote to create the best, to pick the best necessarily. They're voting because, they've got their biases and their allegiances, and they're supporting those people. So, it would have potentially negatively impacted the earning potential for CJE&M or whatever the entertainment company is that's going to be responsible for taking care of the final product for all of these shows. So that's the second option. The third thing is, which really isn't really a surprise to anybody, I don't think, but it's just plain flat out corruption within the entertainment industry, right? People doing backroom deals to get a leg up on the competition so that they can benefit in some way, right? Now, if you think about this, we're going to use New East as an example. I love the guys. The group is fantastic. I've been a relatively big fan of them since their debut, but the sad truth of the matter is that before Produce 101, and they had members participating in that series, that season that Produce 101, before that, Newest was on life support. Their career was basically about to die, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I'm aware. My general feeling, they started off really, really well. By the time that that season of Produce 101 came around, the group was like hanging on by a thread. And then they send 2 members to go participate. They do really well. One of them makes it to 101, and the Newest is popular again. People are fantastic, are just loving it, right? Their old songs, right? During the series, I believe it was, even one of their old songs was like the top of the charts because people were like, Newest, oh my God, they're so good. I love them so much, right? I didn't know who these guys were, but now I do, and they're really good. I love them. And then, you get New East W who comes out and people love them. They're really good. They're super popular, right? Because I know these guys from Produce 101 and 101. It's great. They're awesome. 101, super popular. And then New East comes back and they're really popular. They release a song. Their career is revitalized. Everything is great. They come in, they perform at KCON LA this year. It was great. None of that would have happened if Produce 101 didn't happen. Or if they didn't even do well on Produce 101. So I wouldn't be surprised if Pledis Entertainment was behind the scenes kind of making some moves to make sure that their guys did well so that New East could be reborn and, have their career jump-started. And I don't think that that's really that far, that's definitely possible. I mean, all of the people wouldn't be, it's not really a controversial thing to say that K-pop companies are super corrupt and do some very shady things. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were actually involved in doing stuff like that too. So those are the 3 reasons, right? To keep viewers interested, or certain demographics of the viewership interested, to make sure that you actually have a group, specifically in reference to Produce 101, that is actually full of, that's a well-rounded group and is capable, or is super focused at being good at one thing. Because, fan voting, that's not reliable if you just leave it to fan voting. And 3, because companies are corrupt and they did some backroom deals to, make things happen for their own benefits. So those are my thoughts. Those are my reasons why they potentially would have done what they did. If you have any other reasons, if you've heard rumors around on the internet as to other things, reasons and motivations for these shows to have been rigged, potentially, allegedly, then let me know in the comments below. If you think of any sort of funny stories or anything like that that people are telling you, then also let me know in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear what people are saying about this, because it's an interesting topic to me. Because on one hand, I care about it. On the other hand, I don't really care about it at all. So, like I said, let me know in the comments below. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you watched it. Hopefully this was entertaining. I've recorded this 3 times already because I didn't write a script. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully this 3rd time is better. I feel like it is. So, let me know. And if you want me to make more videos like this, talk about stuff like this in the future, then let me know in the comments below. Send me your news stories you want me to talk about. So that's it for this video, guys. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.